I'm so glad I got my head straight. The psychiatrist really opened my eyes to what I've been seeing. I'm just so hyped I won't be seeing or hearing those creatures. Still, what can we do today? Oh, Fluffy must be downstairs wanting some food. Best go fit it up before she gets real angry. There we go. She won't go hungry. Wait, I don't have a cat. What was that noise? Please be a fluffy rabbit. No, not again. Why are you a fluffy rabbit? Hey guys, welcome back to another video where today we're going to be making Orange from Rainbow Friends. That's right, this will be probably the last one we do for the time being, but obviously for now, let's get straight into it and get this little creature underway. To start off with, go to the avatar menu, go to reset, clear appearance, and confirm as we usually do with our builds. So what this does is give us this cool looking fella here. Obviously, all's a blank canvas, so we can start with the body as we usually do. So let's go straight over to the body section, and for head, search for less. Just like so, and that's looking pretty good. And then for the body, just search for boy, which will do majority of it, and you want this one just here. And once you do that, finally go to the torso where you want to search for Skelly. Very similar setup as we had with both blue and green, I think, with the layout, and we've also made it work for orange. So now we've done that, and it's looking pretty good. What we will do is I will do the same as last time, which is to take you over to the tuning, and we'll go through it one at a time once I've done this. See you in a second. Okay, so welcome back. What we're going to do is just quickly go through the scaling, and you can literally pause the video at each section if you so wish to obviously take the details of each one, and we can go from there. So what we're going to do is start off with the head scale, which we got as 0.73. Upper body width, this is purely 0.28 for every single section. So for the right arm width, just put 0.28. Same for left arm width and also torso width, and that is the upper body width done. Moving on to the next one, which is the upper body depth. Now this is 0.28, but not on everything. So what I'm going to do is just expand these three sections, and then I will put it on the screen so you can take a screenshot of any of it, or you can pause the video at this point so you can fill out the details as they are here. Cool. So now you've done that, let's move over to the next section, which is the upper body height, which I will just expand these individually like last time, and you can again pause the video at this point now to copy the details as they are as you see on screen. Cool, looking good. So let's close that up and let's go for the last three. So we're going over to the lower body width at this point, where we just only got the left and the right leg section here. So this is all you need to see is this bit here. So if you want to copy it across, obviously pause the video anytime at this point so you can see these numbers and copy them across to your own game to be able to replicate this character. So with that being said, I'm going to close this back up and we move over to the lower body width, where it looks like I've just put it as 0.20 for everything. So this should be a really easy one to do. So let's close that one back up. And finally, we've got the lower body height, where I'm just going to expand the legs, both right and left. And this is basically not too dissimilar at 0.82 on the upper and lower and 0.25 for the foot, and that is on both legs, and that will get this complete. So now we are done with the scaling, and you should have something that looks like this, which looks pretty cool because it's a good start and it's a good stepping stone for where we are now. What we're going to do is I'm going to start adding items. So what I think we will start with is probably the head. So what we'll do is we'll head over to the accessories, and then for the hat section, if you search for teeth like so, you will get these three results here, and the one we're going to go with is this one in the middle. And with that being said, let's get this into place, because as things come together, it will look the part, I can promise you that. So obviously on this screen here, let's just quickly go through what we need to and get it sorted. So with this one, we're going to go minus 0.49. Front and back, we're going to go as plus 0.39, just like so. That's 4. My bad, I can't count. And for the tilt, we're going to put that as minus 0.27. And the yaw, we're going to keep as 0. Roll is 0. Scale is going to be 0.70. 7.2 for the width. The height is going to be 120, which I think is maximum. And for the depth, we're going to leave as 1. And that is the head, as it were, already done. So now we've got the head in place. What I think we'll do is get the neck piece put into place. So what we need to do is go to accessories, go to the hat section, and search for cylinder. That's right, if you can spell cylinder or even cylind like I've done here, you've got this one that we want to use just here. So if you equip this, and it looks a bit crazy, but we will put it into the correct proportions and it will fit so it looks correct. So as we're heading over to here, just going to expand this, and then we can get straight on it to make it work as needed. So for the front and the back, we're going to make this a 1.25. For the tilt, we're going to put it as 0.40, just like so. For the yaw, we're going to go 0. Roll is 0. Scale is going to be 0.55. And the width is going to be 0.31. Height is going to be 108, which I'm just going to put an 8 there. And for the depth, we're going to put that as 0.35, just like so. We almost have the cylinder in place. I've just noticed it's really high. What we've missed here is for the up and down, which just needs to be 1 like so. And that then puts it into the correct place, which means we can close this tab because that's now another item we can cross off the list, which means we can go on to the next item. So what I think we'll do is go back to the accessories and on here, search for eye like so. And what I will suggest is you grab this eye and another eye that you can see very similar. I think this one is very similar. So these are the two we're going to go with. And we can then go and put these into place because these are quite a key component for what we need to do with the orange character because the eyes are quite prominent and you'll always see, if you play the game, you'll see what I mean, but they just kind of stick out and they're just there. So with that being said, what we're going to do is just put this into place. We'll start with the first one, obviously, first. So with this, we want 1.24. And for the up and down, we want it to be 0.35. And with the front and back, you want it quite high with 1.95. The tilt, we're going to put as minus 1.57. And for the yaw, we're going to put it as minus 0.63. And with the roll, fortunately, we can put this as minus 0.10, so it's not too much of a movement. And then from there, with the scale, we can put it as 0.25, so this is going to make it a lot smaller. And then with the width, we're going to go 0.74, and then the height, also 0.74, and finally, the depth, also finally 0.74. Which means we are done with this particular eye. So let's then move on to the next eye, where we want to do very similar stuff, but I have got it here for you to follow, so don't worry. And what we're going to start off with is the left and right. So we're going to go minus 1.24. And then with the up and down, we're going to put it to this number here, which is 3.5. And the front and back goes up quite high, in all fairness. So it's 1.95, very similar to the last one. And the tilt, we've got a positive 7.4. And for the yaw, we got a 1.32. And with the roll, we're going into the minus figures of minus 1.03. And the scale, again, like last time, we're going to go with 0.25. And then the width, the height, and all the others is 0.74. So what I will do, because they're the same, is I'm going to just copy and paste these into the last 3 boxes, just like so. And that then finishes up with the eye. As you can see just here, it's now starting to come together, even though it's a bit creepy because it looks a bit strange, but it is all part of the character and it will look really good at the end. So with that being said, let's move on to the next items. Now, what I think we'll go to next is you can get these kind of bandanas, and that's what I've been using purely for the surround of the eyes. So if I just zoom in here, what you've got here is obviously the eyes are sitting on top of the kind of head slash mouth slash whatever you want to call this piece here. And I've got a surround which I'm going to put on. So let's do that now so you can see exactly what I mean and why I've done it. So with the hat section, what you want to search for is head ban, and it should come up with these 2 items. So we want 2 of these. Fortunately, this trick still works. So if you hit the cog, then the item, and then equip, you'll get 2 of them equipped at this point, which means we can go and tune or edit these to be in the right place, because at this moment in time, they're looking a bit wacky and they're not really doing anything for us. So let's get that sorted. So with this first part, we want minus 0.69, and then we're going to go with a positive 0.36, which then leads to a 1.13, and then for the tilt, we're going to go with a minus 0.29, and then with the yaw, I think we're going to put that up to 1.60, and the roll, we're going to go with a 0.72, just like so. And in the scale, this comes down to a 0.38. And then following up with the width, which is going to be a 0.90. And then the height is slightly up by 1, just like so. And finally, for the depth of this particular one, we're going to want to set it to 0.86, just like that. And that is the first one now dealt with, which means we can move over to the second one, which we've got here. Obviously, I know it looks a bit strange, but once we start applying textures, it will all come together. Trust me when I say that. So let's follow on with the second one, where you want to start off with the left and right and go with a 0.69, just like so. The up and down, we're going to put as a 0.36. And in the front and back, we're going to go 101. So if I just slide this up, that was a little bit further than I thought. 101 is just there. And the tilt, we're going to go with a minus 0.37, just like this. And the yaw, we're going to put a minus 1.67. I do believe that's it. And with the roll, we're going to put this as a minus 0.69. And the scale, we're going to put this as a 0.38, which then leads us down to the last 3, where it's basically the same as the last one. So we're going to put this as 0.38, And then for the height, we're going to go with a dot 101. So I may as well just put that up by 1. Whoop. And then for the depth, we're going to go as just 1. Quick minor adjustment, I had to put the width back to 0.86 because I put it as 0.36. That was wrong, but now we have got the correct looking shapes around the eyes. And I think this one needs a little bit of tweaking, so I'm just going to quickly see what I can do to make this fit right. Okay, so like that, I'm happy with that. It's in place. I'm going to minimize this to say that it's done. So what I think we'll move on to next is an item we have used for actually in the last few builds, which is under the back category, I believe. And if you search for crayon, it will give you these ones here. I'm just going to go with this purple one because as we're going to apply texture to the top of them, it really doesn't matter which one we go with. But for the sake of having one chosen, I've gone with the purple. And for that, we can then just quickly put this into place. So with the up and down, we've got 0.40, obviously minus. And the front and back, we've got 0.21. And the tilt, we've got minus 0.12, just like so. And with the yaw, we're going to leave that at 0. And the roll, we're going to go to minus 0.6, just like this. And in the scale, we're going to leave it as 1. And the width, we're going to go as 0.41. And then the height, we're going to go with 0.47. And finally, the depth, we're going to go with 0.43. Which should get us the body in place like so and looking good. I'm happy with that. So let's close this and minimize it just like so. So we're coming up to the final piece of the accessory we need for this whole puzzle, which is, if we go to the, I think it's the waist. And what you want to do is search for kawaii. And what we want is this tail just here. So if I bring it up, it's called the kawaii snake tail. That's right, it's a snake. And with that being said, we're going to want to equip that just like so. And obviously, it's in the wrong place. It's a bit big, so we're going to go and sort that out right now. So head over to the tuning, the accessories, and from here, expand up this option. And then let's get to work with putting it in the right place. So with the up and down, we're going to make this 0.41. And in the front and back, we're going to need to make this 0.32. And in the tilt, we're going to go with a minus 0.45. And in the yaw, we need to make this 0. Roll, we're going to leave a 0. And the scale, we're going to put as 0.57 like this. And in the width, we're going to bring this up just a smidge to go to 107. And then for the height, we're going to bring this down to 0.56, just like this. And finally, the depth, we're going to set this to maximum. And then that should now look kind of in place, which looks good to me. And I've just realized, obviously, the body protrudes a little bit, but this is all part of the plan because when I put on a particular animation, that will show us exactly what we need to do to get this all lined up perfectly. So with that being said, let's minimize this, which leaves us with all the items we need to obviously search for done. So I think what we'll do next is we'll import the top and the pants to get the colors kind of brought in and for things obviously start matching up. So let's go to accessories, import, and what you want to do is enter this code here, which will get you, I think, the pants. So if we look at this, no, I'm wrong, it's the shirts, and that's exactly what we want to apply. So that gives us the orange arms. And then for the next one, we want to import the pants itself, which is this code just here. As per usual, these codes and obviously the color textures will be in the description below if you wish to follow along and obviously fill it out as I'm doing now. So now we've done that, I'm pretty happy with that. So let's just very quickly go to the tuning and in color. And what you want is this orange here. And I'm going to just paint the arms very quickly, just like that. So it blends in, and I don't know if there's anything else to paint at the moment, so I'm going to leave that as it is, come out of this menu, and then actually, we need to go to the cog. I've just realized what we need to do is to actually texture these items. So with that being said, I think what we'll do is we'll get started with the texturing as of this point. So with the mouth or the head or whatever you want to call this bit here, let's use the code we've got just here, which is one of the textures I have made, and hopefully I've put that in correctly. Orange mouth, very descriptive, says what it is, and then with that, that should change the head to be like so, which is pretty cool. And then next, we need this cylinder to be orange to match the rest of the body. And with that, I've got this code that I've got here, which is almost a perfect match. And it's thanks to Paragon 23 that we have got this texture. And I'm going to just copy this because I think I need to apply this texture to the crayon as well. So I'm just going to jump down to the crayon and paste this orange code in just there. So we're starting to look more orange, and in fact, I think the tail needs it as well. So let's apply this same code to the tail, and that merges it into the orange, which is looking pretty cool. It's an interesting looking thing. I've just noticed as well, we need to do these kind of little bands around the eyes. So these two bits here also need to be orange. So just as well I copied this because, yeah, we need to go through and paste these a lot more for the other items around it. And that's looking pretty good to me. So now what we need to do is apply the texture to the eyes, which then finishes up this little section. So this is another one I have created, and hopefully I get this code correct. So let's just see what this brings up. That is correct. So let's just copy this and then we set that into place. And then likewise for the second eye, we're going to do exactly the same thing where once it wants to load. There we go. Now we managed to make it load. Let's just paste this in. Same code as last time, which gives us these eyes just here, which are creepy, but it is part of the build and it is pretty much like he is. So now we've done that, we can move over to the section which kind of brings his shape a little bit more into play. So what we want to do is head to the animations where actually for once this is quite important for him to look the part. And what I've chosen is, I believe, the werewolf stance. It is indeed. So we're going to go with the idol with the werewolf, like so. Already you can see it's looking more the part. His head's face down a little bit more. The long neck works, and it's looking good overall, if I say so myself. And then with the walk, I've gone with the wolf walk because, again, that's quite suited. And then for the run, I just went with the elder run, I believe, which is this one here, because it works pretty well. So there we have my version of Orange from the Rainbow Friends series or game on Roblox. If you liked it, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!